Kwe, and welcome to the 2020 Pow Wow Pitch National Semi-Finals, presented by RBC with the support of Canada Post, Shopify, BDC, and NACCA. Sunshine Tenasco and Indigenous, and I am the founder of Pow Wow Pitch. I will be your host for tonight's Pow Wow Pitch National Semi-Finals, where Indigenous entrepreneurs from across Canada will pitch for their chance to win $25,000 in prizes to help them to start and scale up their businesses. Thank you for joining us. 6 years ago, I started Pow Wow Pitch with the vision of combining Indigenous culture and social innovation to a platform to celebrate, showcase, and put the spotlight on Canada's Indigenous entrepreneurs. Over the years, Pow Wow Pitch has supported more than 100 Indigenous entrepreneurs to get their businesses to the next level, and this week we will meet 100 more. According to a recent RBC study, Canada's Indigenous population is the fastest growing population in the country, and the Indigenous economy is a $10 billion economy set to grow to $125 billion by 2025. Indigenous people in Canada are starting businesses at 5 times the rate of non-Indigenous people, and Indigenous women are starting up companies at twice the rate as non-Indigenous women. Supporting Indigenous entrepreneurship is more important today than ever before. In our own entrepreneurial pivot in response to COVID-19, this year we are proud to present the 2020 Pow Wow Pitch online and across Canada with the support of RBC in partnership with Canada Post, Shopify, BDC, and NACCA. Thank you for investing in Indigenous entrepreneurship. We are broadcasting from the Startup Canada studio in Ottawa, Ontario on unceded and unsurrendered Anishinaabe territory. This summer, applications poured in from across Canada from nations from coast to coast to coast, like the Salish, Inuit, Métis, Cree, Ojibwe, Anishinaabe, and Mi'kmaq. We shortlisted the top 100 entrepreneurs and matched them with outstanding mentors in the lead up to this week's semifinals. Every night this week, you will have the chance to watch Pow Wow Pitch semi-finalists pitch to our esteemed panel of judges as they compete for a place in the Pow Wow Pitch National Finals taking place on October 20th. Prizes include $500 for each of the top finalists from each province and territory, a $1,000 youth prize, $2,500 for third place, $5,000 for second place, $10,000 for first place. In total, this year we will be awarding $25,000 in prizes. Each semi-finalist has 2 minutes for their pitch, followed by a 2-minute Q&A by the judges. Judges are evaluating whether the entrepreneur has clearly communicated their product, services, their value proposition, their planned pathway to sustainability and success, and whether they are convinced that the entrepreneur will follow through. Join the conversation online tonight using Pow Wow Pitch, the hashtag Pow Wow Pitch, and be sure to share, like, and comment and cheer on and support the entrepreneurs you meet tonight and throughout the week. Let us know who you are rooting for. Let's begin by meeting tonight's esteemed panel of judges. Joining us this evening is Tracy Antoine, Vice President, Commercial Financial Services, Indigenous Markets, BC Region, RBC. Kyle Saint-Amour Brennan, Financial Services and Indigenous ERG Chair, Shopify, and Luke Mishetsky, Director, Parcels and E-commerce Solutions Integration, Canada Post. It's time to meet our first cohort of entrepreneurs. Let's have a look at the pitches from just a few moments ago. Are you ready, Canada? Let's get started. First up, we have Trisha Gardepy.
So my name is Trisha Gardepy. I am a mother, I'm a hairstylist, and I'm a barber from Beardy's and Okamas's Cree Nation. My future business idea is the House of Creations, a collaboration studio. In the House of Creations, the goal of being in the industry is to work together and teach the importance of our self-worth as Indigenous people. A bit about myself. I am Cree, I'm a single mom, and I can relate with a lot of issues that we still face today, why we still question our worth. So I've been in an industry for about 6 years now, starting the same as most hairstylists, building color, building clientele, learning skills, and picked up the art of barbering along the way. To build my own self-esteem, I entered many hair competitions in big cities around Canada, placing in the top 3. Each competition I entered was in the barber category, a male-dominated art. During these years of doing hair, I've had the honor to collaborate with many Indigenous artists such as hairstylists, makeup artists, DJs, photographers, singers, fashion designers, clothing brands, all working together to bring in our talents back through to the communities throughout Saskatchewan. The vision is to help instill that self-worth within our art and talent, giving back to help break generational trauma. To work together and creating the self-love within and having workshops. What is it for? Our babies, the future generation. If I was honored to win, I would reinvest into the communities by making House of Creations a reality and getting the necessary equipment needed. Products into production, marketing tools, branding to continue our work together as artists for the House of Creations. After all, we do deserve it. After everything we've been through as Indigenous people, we deserve to break the barriers within. Thank you.
So just a quick question for you. Do you have a team of staff behind you, or are you just a sole owner type business?
A team.
Can you tell me a little bit about the team?
So the team is Indigenous artists in Saskatchewan. We have hairstylists, we have makeup artists, we have all types of artists that we usually work together and collaborate. So all we need is just this studio that we're working on, and it's just in pre-development stage right now.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hi, Trisha. Great pitch. Thank you for that. Curious to know if you thought ahead to a marketing plan and how you plan on getting the word out and what you're trying to accomplish here.
On the marketing, so for what the work we have been doing lately is social media. We've been taking advantage of Instagram, taking advantage of Facebook, the free social medias, and representing ourselves in the work and the art that we do. So within the future of the shop, we'll learn how to market properly and to push the shop out there in Saskatoon.
Hey there, Trisha.
Hi.
Thanks again for that lovely presentation. I'm just wondering if you won Pow Wow Pitch, what would the first 6 months look like for you?
Probably developing the shop and getting everything in place. And the first 6 months is getting pretty much the tools that we need, is like the marketing tools, like professional cameras, professional everything, just everything for marketing to learn how to market ourselves properly.
Next, we have Dallas Pootlass, owner, Indigenous Empowerment Coaching.
Oh, hi, my name is Dallas Pootlass, and I am an Indigenous Empowerment Coach. Thank you so much for this opportunity. I help Indigenous people to go from feeling like they're stuck to being free. I'm here today to ask you for your vote at the chance of winning $10,000. In exchange, I will turn that into $100,000 in profits in my first year. And I help many clients. They come to me, they feel like they're disenfranchised, marginalized, and living on the fringes of society, and they get to be happy, joyous, and free. I provide one-on-one life coaching, group coaching up to 6 people, and larger group coaching up to 20 people. And I also do stage coaching in community, and I coach people from the front of the room. So my goal is to help Indigenous people to rewrite their life stories. And I get to do that every single day. Last year, at the beginning of this year, I started 2 companies, and in one day I made $200,000 in sales. And the next day I lost it because of COVID. And my coach asked me, said to me, life doesn't happen to you, it happens for you. What are you going to get up and do tomorrow? And I said, I'm going to be a life coach. And I went and got certified. I did a 90-day program, and I got my first client in the first 28 days of my training. And now I'm going into like 4 or 5 communities to empower Indigenous people. And the brand of what I would do is to develop the brand of my company, which is Be Who Your Ancestors Prayed For. Thank you so much. Let me know if you have any questions.
That was excellent, Dallas. Thank you very much. To meet that revenue target that you have in mind, how do you plan on getting the word out about the service that you're providing?
I really want to use word of mouth. I've been coaching for the last 3.5 years, mostly in a volunteer setting, and it was like a side hustle. And now I'm certified, and a lot of my clients have they've come over, and one of the biggest hurdles that I've had to do was go from kind of coaching them like voluntarily to them paying for my services. So I had to really deal with my worth and who, knowing my worth and saying to people, hey, this is what I charge now. And they're happy to pay because they feel, who doesn't want to feel freedom, right?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks for that awesome presentation, Dallas. Maybe a more personal reflective question for you. What skills do you think that you're missing today from your business, and what steps would you take to fill those gaps?
The skills that I'm missing are really having social media presence. And I'm actually talking to a colleague of mine who is a guru in social media marketing, and I'm exchanging my coaching services for her expertise in getting me trained and developed. So it's a good old fashioned, trade and barter like we've always done, right? So she's happy to do it, and I'll be doing the same thing. So
up next, we have Crystal Semaganis, owner, Seven Wolves.
Hi, my name is Crystal Semaganis, and I am a Plains Cree and Sioux descent, and I come from the Little Pine First Nation, Treaty Number 6 territory in Saskatchewan, and I now make my home in North Bay, Ontario, Northern Ontario. For the past 29 years, I've been an artist who's very active on the Pow Wow Trail throughout Northern Ontario and Quebec, and I've normally done paint. But now I've evolved into pyrography, which is the technical term for wood burning. My business is Seven Wolves Memorial Urns. And what I would like to do, my business is to indigenize the urn industry, because there is nothing available for Indigenous people now. And this is a very sacred time, the transition from, of our loved ones to the spirit world. And I wanted to use my art in a very sacred way to support my family and provide it a much needed choice for people who need help during that transition. What I have here, this is an urn, and this is an untreated urn, and there's 4 sides. We have the box style urns, as well as round urns in pine and cedar, in which I will apply my pyrography. In the background, you will see samples of my pyrography. I do portraiture. I do, pardon me, animals, clans. So the customer can actually have anything indigenized, customized, and this will serve as a very, very sacred testament, a lasting memorial product for families. With the $10,000, I plan on buying $5,000 worth of materials and equipment, such as the lathe. For $10,000 will be a website, which will allow, my customers to upload media and customize what they need. And further, $5,000 for a very, very respectful marketing campaign, because this is not something that's mainstream. So I thank you for the opportunity to listen.
Thank you, Crystal. That was a very interesting presentation. I just have a question for you in regards to what skills do you feel that you might be missing to launch your business today in the virtual world?
Honestly, I know that I need assistance, technical assistance with marketing. I do have the artistic ability. I have Indigenous suppliers to make the urns, and I also have carpentry skills to make them myself. However, this requires a very specific and respectful marketing campaign because it's not like a mainstream product. It is a very specialized product. So I would require some expertise specifically in that area.
Thanks for the great pitch, Crystal. I really enjoyed that. Similar question. Are you doing this on your own? Do you have a support team behind you? How are you making this work in the background?
I'm actually connected with the North Bay Small Business Program. I work with business specialists out of the small business organizations here in North Bay and Parry Sound District, and I am currently compiling, refining my business plan. I've also qualified for $5,000 for a loan on the completion of the business plan. So I do have the technical support and to do all the aspects of the business to launch it. So I'm forecasting a launch soon, but I am currently taking orders. These are both special orders.
Yeah. What really motivates you for this business?
In 2015, I lost a friend who committed suicide at the local friendship center, and I donated my art to his family. And there isn't anything for Indigenous people. Like, I've been to many ceremonies because that's my role as a traditional person. And I really wanted to provide that Indigenous touch, to create Indigenous space in an industry that really lacks, things that's sensitive to our culture and meaningful to our people.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Up next, we have April Mitchell-Boudreau, CEO and designer, Lofton.
My name is April Mitchell-Boudreau, and I'm a Turtle Clan Mohawk with roots at Six Nations. I am so honored to be here and in such fantastic company. I'm the CEO and lead designer for Lofton Jewelry from the heart of the beautiful Niagara region, where I have been designing and making jewelry for over 20 years. Lofton is a unique jewelry system that allows the wearer to customize for fit, neckline, and occasion. Our big mission is to awaken and engage the creator that lives inside every person. We celebrate diversity and use traditional materials like shell, semi-precious stone, and sustainably sourced wood. In fact, our design itself is inherently sustainable, as it allows you to do so many things with just one or two pieces. Until COVID hit, our business model was built around wholesale distribution through independent stores across Ontario. When stores were forced to close during lockdown, we had a cascade of canceled orders, returned goods, and zero business from our wholesale partners. We realized very quickly that our business had to pivot to online retail, with us as the main distributors. We've been working very hard to grow our social media and have increased our Instagram followers from 432 to over 3,000. And we have a low and engaged community there to serve them by making the purchasing of our products smooth and easy. And we are excited to say we are selling on Instagram. This is our reason for seeking funding today. This grant would be used to migrate our site to Shopify, create new professional photography or a camera for us to do it, and if possible, marketing support on Instagram. This money would be an absolute game changer for us. Our ultimate goal with Lofton is to create enough demand that we can employ and empower other Indigenous people in our community as peace workers able to work from home. We are seeding hope and possibility models for future generations. Nyala, Miigwech, for this wonderful opportunity, and best of luck to my fellow pitchers.
Thank you, April. Appreciate that. Great presentation. Do you have a team of staff behind you to help you move into that virtual world with your marketing strategy currently?
I am the team. My husband and I are doing everything together. And that's been actually a very important thing, that I be the one that is the architect of this new space and this new visual language, so that I can pass that on. And so part of this funding could be used to help us continue to parlay this relationship that we're building on social media.
Okay, thank you.
Does that answer your question?
Thanks,
Yes, it does.
Okay. All right.
Thanks so much for the pitch, April. That was really, really great. Quick question for you. As you move to this direct-to-consumer model where you're selling directly to consumers, have you already started to see some offset from the losses that you saw during COVID?
We actually have, Luke. It's been amazing. We were running reports in advance of this and thinking about questions that we may have. And we are nearly caught up to where we were last year. And that's phenomenal. There are a few things in there, like a few wholesale orders, and also I teach. So there's a little bit of a bump from those things, but we can do this.
If you could detail who is your target customer and what have you done to date to ensure that they would buy your product?
Our target customer, interestingly enough, Kyle, she sits somewhere between 35 and 65. However, we are seeing younger people really engaging with us. And what have we done? I'm using stories. I'm using links to our website. Whenever I offer a special, it always brings in sales. And I create videos. If you go on my Instagram, there's a bit of education with our product and how it works. And Instagram is like the perfect platform for us. So.
Up next, we have Dawn Angelique Wilson, owner, creator, Back to Roots Indigenous Medicine.
I have a diploma in advanced business management and e-commerce. I also have my Associate of Arts degree. I'm currently working on my bachelor's at SFU in Indigenous Studies and with a minor in sustainable development. I'm in my 5th year. I have 10 years office experience. I am competent with invoicing, accounting, bank deposits, marketing, and shipping. I'm an excellent problem solver. My company is Back to Our Roots Indigenous Medicine. My team is my father. He's a respected elder of the Hiltsik Nation, and my family. My product is a powerful Devil's Club salve. It has anti-inflammatory and antibacterial properties. My product is unique because Devil's Club only grows on the Northwest Pacific coast, from the Alaska coastline all the way down to Washington. My product is also unique because it's urban native fusion. I'm mixing eucalyptus. My product leaves your skin feeling soft, smelling great. It leaves a warming sensation, and it aids in reducing muscles, aches, and pains. Other products do this too. Unfortunately, try reading some of these ingredients. They're not as natural as mine. I'm at a crossroads with my business because it is a home-based business. I am making this in my kitchen, and I do have enough stock where I can send out 400 salves tomorrow. It is a credible business, but if I want to be taken seriously, I need to be on shelves besides products like these. In order to do that, I need to do my due diligence, hire a lawyer, make sure I meet all the legal requirements for cosmetics. I would also like to film a commercial and launch a social media campaign. I love learning about traditional Indigenous practices and traditional ecological knowledge. I love that plants feel. It makes me feel closer to my ancestors by sharing this. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dawn, with that really amazing presentation. I wonder if you could share maybe more about that marketing strategy that you alluded to at the end of that presentation.
So I have yet to launch any social media campaigns. I do have an online website. I do have an Instagram page and a Facebook page, but I've yet to do any activity on that. My business is very new. It's under a year old, but I only really worked on it for 6 months before COVID. So I have taken some time off. But in order, I think, to kind of create a buzz, I'd like to have a short commercial, do a social media campaign, try and get some shelf space, and just get, instead of just focusing on Indigenous customers, I'd like to reach a wider market than that. I think my product could be similar to Lakota if I try hard.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing, Dawn. I really appreciate all of the information you provided. Can you tell me a little bit about what kind of traction you've gained in the market to date? And what are some of the biggest challenges or achievements you've found in getting that market share for your product?
My product was actually an ethnobotany research paper turned into life. I entered it into a competition at SFU, the 2019 Made by SFU competition, and I won under 3 categories. I won fan favorite, innovation, and a purchase order. My product is actually sold at the SFU bookstores.
Up next, we have Leona Skye-Grandmond, survivor of human trafficking and an advocate for combating human trafficking.
Buzu, Ani, Mimose Onekwa, she who walks with clouds. Leona Skye, Ojibwe from Pick River. I am a survivor of human trafficking. My human trafficking journey began at the age of 4 and ended at the age of 17 when I left the streets of Toronto with a baby in my belly. I continued to exploit into my mid-30s. I've created a program called Sister Act, an advocates combating human trafficking, based out of the Niagara region. For the past 6 years, I've traveled across Canada, sharing my journey of human trafficking with community service providers, social workers, so on and so forth. My community fully supports me. I've got a lot of support here. I've got community safe beds, office space that has been donated to me to get this program up and running. I'm asking for help with the $10,000 to receive police training, naloxone training, first aid training, trackers to keep us safe. It's a means to get us out into the community safely, to help those that are trying to exit or who are encased get off the streets. It's a big issue. And I really, really do believe we need to do more. Thank you.
Tell me if you have a bit of a team of support behind you as you carry out this business venture.
I do. I am part of the Niagara Regional Anti-Human Trafficking Protocol. There's 69 organizations, and I was the only survivor to actually sign this protocol agreement. So I've got all of them as community support workers, them coming in and helping me. The YWCA of Niagara has donated safe beds, office space, and programming areas, counseling, so on and so forth, through their program for me.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks very much for your presentation. I really enjoyed it. What would you say is one of the main challenges that you're facing in moving Sister Act forward?
I think right now that it's a big showboat. Everybody and anybody is trying to jump on board with this without that information. You need a survivor. You need a survivor to know what people are going through out there. And a lot of book people and that kind of stuff are trying to get involved and trying to do good work. But as a survivor, survivor-led and survivor-implemented program, we can make a difference, a bigger difference.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Up next, we have Paige Polches, founder, Quay Beauty.
I'm the founder of Quay Beauty. Quay Beauty is the first aesthetic salon of its kind in Atlantic Canada. Quay Beauty will allow guests to keep up with current beauty trends while incorporating a custom experience through traditional Indigenous medicines and healing practices. Our space will be a reminder to all of our guest clientele of the beauty that they carry within themselves. We will embody the connection between inner and outer beauty. If we look good, we feel even better. My goal for Quay Beauty is to create a high-touch, soothing atmosphere in business establishment that also incorporates healing components of the Wolastoqey culture. With the rebirth of traditional language and healing practices, and the growing population of those tuning into their holistic health and wellness, there is a growing market and need for services that align with a complete healing and cleansing spa experience. The tentative launch date of Quay Beauty is January 2021. I've defined 23 product and service lines, including preliminary pricing, my direct costs, and monthly volumes. I have a 36-month financial projection. I plan to operate from a commercial space in St. Mary's First Nation Chicosis Commercial Center. And promote my business and services using social media platforms. To date, Quay Beauty has 995 likes and counting. Quay Beauty will not only encourage employment and entrepreneurship among Indigenous people, it will also create employment and awareness to our non-Indigenous neighbors about our culture and our heritage.
Can you tell me a little bit about the behind-the-scenes staff, or do you have a team? It sounds like you have quite a few products and services ready to go, so just a little bit of background on that would be great.
I actually participated in a 12-week New Brunswick Indigenous Incubator Program, Business Incubator Program, which was followed by a 10-week aftercare with the Canadian Executive Services Agency. So I really do have a strong team and behind me, coaching me and advising me on the moves that I should be making, or if I'm making the right connections between the two.
Thanks for your presentation, Paige. That was excellent. Curious to know, you mentioned of your 23 products that you're selling today through your brick and mortar store, do you envision selling them through other channels as well, trade shows or online in different ways?
So right now I'm at the pre-validation of my opening. So I'm only doing lash extensions, but I definitely plan to incorporate more of my holistic side and medicine pieces when the salon opens.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for that, Paige. So maybe you're looking to launch in January 2021. What do the next few months sort of look like you in terms of your own personal development?
Right now we have contractors coming into this space, renovations, obviously more funding to see that come through to the vision that I foresee it. We're very close to being open now, so it's really show time in terms of what we're doing in the back.
Up next, we have Alex Starblanket, co-owner Starblanket Clothing.
Hi, my name is Alex Starblanket. I'm from a reserve called the Takakoop, also translated in English is Starblanket. Back in 2017, I was diagnosed with kidney failure. During my time, I could either go into depression or build my faith and become a better person for myself. So what I did was I took the Starblanket for many reasons. It symbolizes like help, like faith, hope, wisdom, family. It's like all these things that everybody looks up to the Starblanket for. You can receive a Starblanket as a gift for like changing your life around, loved ones, ones that are passing on. The Starblanket represents a lot of things. So I took the Starblanket back in 2017 to build myself up. And what I do is I turn my life around, and I still am on dialysis, but I don't worry about trying to find a donor or a kidney or anything. I worry about my generation. So what I want to do is try and spread the love, the hope, the faith, just the way the Starblanket symbolizes itself. And what I hope for the judges to pick me is to if I do win, I would do my best to support my dialysis patients, most importantly all our generation. Our generation is very important as we are going through this pandemic. This COVID has slowed us down. It took us it like took away part of our heart, our family. And what I want to do is buy like a bunch of equipment, be able to open up my own little shop.
It certainly speaks to why this is a great business for you. Can you tell me a little bit about your go-to market strategy in this virtual world?
Go-to market. Well, the main problem I have right now is like I'm trying to find a good source that I can go to all the time, something that I can easily get my product out there and to advertise a lot quicker. Right now, I'm just struggling just because of the pandemic and like trying to reach out to other people and stuff. And like I'm a motivational speaker, and I would like to like get out there and speak to students other than worry about like I have to like be safe with myself, be cautious with myself. During dialysis, our immune system is very, very weak. So I have like a problem with like watching what I do, what I eat, and I'm very sensitive right now. So
Thanks for sharing your story, Alex. Curious to know if you're doing this by yourself or if you have some support behind you that are helping you.
Actually, I lived in BC before, in beautiful British Columbia, and I moved home for a lot of support, right? But when I got home, I realized that all my help and my support have moved on, have passed on due to drugs, due to alcohol, due to all these other stuff, right? So I realized that I had to do this myself. I had to rebuild my strength. I had to build my wisdom all by myself. Like there's elders out there, and I reach out to them a lot, like I wouldn't be here right now if I wouldn't have reached out at all. But yeah, so my elders in my generation are very.
Up next, we have Cheyenne Isaac Gloade, co-owner and creative director, Leona Clothing Co.
Hi, my name is Cheyenne Isaac Gloade. I'm from Lissagush, Quebec. I live in Millbrook, Nova Scotia now. I am the co-owner of Leona Clothing Co. alongside my partner, Jennifer Denny. And we own a clothing company, an Indigenous Mi'kmaq branded clothing company. We create different products such as apparel line. We have a ready to wear as well as a accessories line and a couture culture line that we handcraft because both my partner and I are designers. We started our business in 2019. November of 2019, we launched. We were open for 4 months before the pandemic hit. We have been closed for 5 months due to that. During the pandemic, we remained on track with things. However, we have not received any funding to date for our company, but we have built it based on our skill set. We do different things such as, we create, handmade labels, and we have things such as, ready to wear garments, some of the clothing that we produce here. And the name Ulnug means the people. So we are really inspired by who we are as Indigenous people. We want to be able to bring opportunities to our communities. We want to, establish a brand in the fashion industry, and by doing that and being Indigenous, we want to include all of the young people, the youth. We want them to be a part of who we are as a brand, as a business, and we want to continue to grow. And because we have not to date, received any funding, we have done this all on our backs, built it from our experiences, our skill set, our networks. We want to go forward and continue to expand and broaden and make that stance in the fashion world and the industry as Indigenous Mi'kmaq people owned and operated brand.
Thank you, Cheyenne. Can you tell me a little bit more about your background and why you would wanted to get into this particular type of business?
So my partner and I are both fashion designers. We came together to build each other up as, young Mi'kmaq Indigenous women. And we wanted to produce a brand that we can reach not only our people and inspire our own and our young people, but to put it out there for everyone to relate, to represent, and to want to wear our clothing as an Indigenous brand, as Indigenous designers.
Thank you.
Hi, Cheyenne. Curious to know where you're selling your product right now. What channels are you selling through, and where do you aspire to be in maybe 5 years?
So we are, right now we are operating on our website. We have, a full operating store on our website. This is just a quick view of what we have established. We do all the content creating, we do all of the networking, we do all of the design online, and we're selling through our online store. However, we have done things such as pop-up shops and, walk-in, buying, and so that's just been basically where our market is online living.
So if you were to win Pow Wow Pitch, how would you use those funds to boost your business?
So we would continue to create, garments, ready-to-wear apparel, and our accessory line with the Mi'kmaq flair. We would want to, we do all of our things on our own. We're a two-man show. We produce everything on our own, from our tags to our, screen printing, the whole 9 yards. So we would want to be able to do that a lot quicker, as well as, employ people, give people opportunities within our communities to shine and to, help build our brand as we help, give them opportunities.
Awesome. Thank you.
Up next, we have Kelly Snake, Chief Metagrobologist. Kel Snake.
Aneen, my name is Kel Snake. I'm from Chippewas of Georgian Island here in Ontario, and I'm a metagrobologist. And basically what that means is I make these funny little puzzle boxes. Sometimes they're made of exotic wood. Sometimes I build them into these cute little vintage boxes. But, why puzzle boxes? And for me, I think puzzles are all about fitness for the mind. Our children need them. Our elders need them. Puzzles have a known solution, and whereas other problems do not. While puzzles are certainly frustrating at the best of times, we are given the opportunity to learn patience with ourselves. Puzzles offer a complete problem-solving experience, from defining the goal to determining the characteristics of the given, and finally, the solution. The more we exercise this part of our mind, the more adept we become. Now, while the puzzle market is an ever-growing trend, little old me can only make so many. At the same time, I feel this urgency and importance to pass down this secret school of craftsmanship. So learning how to market my plans and my kits based on my puzzles is still a skill I'm learning, even though I haven't let it stop me. And so this is why I'm here today, is to get the support, to build a fun website and the resources to advertise to get the cycle started. Those that have already been accessing my puzzle plans via Etsy are excelling in their own work to new heights and often raising them to the top of their peers. Crafty folks who have their own situations, they're able to buy these plans for me through Etsy, instantly downloaded, and immediately, within 5 minutes, start applying it to their own projects. And for those folks that are little nervous of tools, I have kits with a cigar box, a little thing of parts, and some plans, and they made it themselves. Yay! Thanks, guys.
That's great, Kelly. Can you tell me a little bit about yourself and how you come to this type of a business for puzzles?
Oh, well, that's a really deep question. Needless to say, I'm really good at listening to the wood, and I just love making these little puzzles, and people love buying them, and you kind of it becomes a passion, and you don't run out of ideas. So
very interesting product. I've not heard of those before. Very, very interesting. What is one of the biggest challenges that you're facing moving your company forward?
Well, the puzzles are no problem. They sell as fast as I can make them. For me, it's the marketing end of things for the plans. There are a ton of people out there that want to learn, but I'm nervous about advertising and all that stuff. And I don't know anything. I don't have a website because the plan sells. So I don't know. So that's it. It's more that getting a website, I think, established and getting some kind of proper advertising plan.
Got it. Thank you.
Awesome, Kelly. Killer presentation. Loved it. Yeah, maybe it'd be helpful to know, if you just say you got the resources that you needed and you won this, what would be your go-to-market strategy? Would you start with a website, or would you, how exactly would your next few months play out?
Yeah, so I have already 17 to 20 plans selling on Etsy. So I have some plans that I can start up a new website with. I don't know anything about that technical stuff. So it's all about getting a website established and getting some advertising to drive towards that. And I think the rest will be a cycle of creation, Such a new trend that's happening. There's nobody else doing it.
Up next, we have Lance Whitford, owner, True North Truck Stop.
All right. Hi, guys. Nice seeing you today. Thank you for giving me the opportunity. My name is Lance Whitford. I am treaty to Ebb and Flow First Nations. I have my Red Seal in truck and transport mechanics. I have a Class 1 license. I am also certified to do government safeties on semi-trucks, semi-trailers, and public transport buses. I have almost 17 years of experience in the mechanical trade. I am also a very experienced welder. My ultimate goal is to open up my very own heavy-duty automotive repair shop in South Central location of Manitoba, ideally close to Long Plains First Nations or Swan Lake First Nations. I've spoken with a few Indigenous community leaders and Indigenous business owners about where they get their regular maintenance and major and minor repairs done on their cars, trucks, and larger equipment. I found that a majority of them outsource most, if not all, of their mechanical needs. This includes their annual safeties for buses, semi-trucks, and trailers. A few of the leaders and owners felt the prices that they paid were very high, unreliable, and sometimes questionable. I found that each of them would love the opportunity to support another Indigenous-run business. I feel very strongly that this could be my way of giving back to my larger Indigenous community. I plan to do local maintenance and repairs, as well as truck and trailer maintenance and safeties from wherever I'm able to set up my shop. I want to provide all these services with professionalism, timely execution, at a fair price. This would also provide me with the opportunity to pass my knowledge on to another individual and another generation by taking on an apprentice or two. I can create job opportunities within the community and hopefully contribute to a positive change in someone else's life. My community helped me on my journey to become a heavy-duty mechanic, and it changed my life for the better. It would be a very fulfilling experience for me if I could give back by helping other Indigenous youth the same way I was helped. Thank you for this opportunity. Miigwech.
Thank you, Lance, and thank you, Lance, and thank you for sharing the background and how you got your business started. Can you tell me a little bit more about how you would get your product or your service into the market for a marketing strategy? Because it's so hands-on, and we've now been pivoted to a virtual world.
I would use a lot of social media. I'd use stuff like Facebook and Snapchat and business cards. I've also spoken to lots of Indigenous leaders and community leaders and business owners, and if they would support me. And that's mainly my start, and just the other high traffic areas for truck and transport trailers.
Hey, Lance. Curious to hear maybe your number one challenge that you're facing right now, moving your company forward.
My number one challenge is I would like to either put it on Swan Lake First Nation or Long Plains First Nation. I've spoken to them. They are interested. And I think if I were to win this competition, I think that would give me a lot greater chance to showing them how important it is to me to follow my goals.
Excellent. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Miigwech, Lance, thanks for that really great presentation. Maybe just a little bit more detail about your team. Is it only you, or do you have staff, or do you have anybody else around you, like mentors or business mentors, anything like that?
Yes, I have a business mentor. My father-in-law, he owns his own engineering business, very successful. And he's kind of showed me some things, and he's helping me out along the way. But I also have my mentor who actually got me the apprenticeship, who told me about the apprenticeship and showed me how to get my Red Seal mechanics. And he would consider coming into business with me.
Up next, we have Sonya Ballantyne, Creative Director, Codebreaker Films.
What was the last movie you saw that had an Indigenous person portrayed in a non-stereotypical way? What was the last movie you saw made by a Native creative? My name is Sonya Ballantyne, and I am the founder and creative director of Codebreaker Films. For 6 years, Codebreaker has made Indigenous content by Indigenous creatives. Every project we have done has had Indigenous creatives both behind and in front of the camera. During COVID, Codebreaker Films has developed 3 projects, 2 of which have been greenlit for further development with major TV companies, and we wrap production on a short film this week. As a filmmaker, I've won 2 short film pitch competitions at Gimli and Imaginative Film Festival. As a public speaker, I've spoken about the importance of Indigenous media representation at San Diego and New York Comic-Cons. I've directed short films that have premiered at festivals like Vancouver Film Festival and have had my work translated into other languages for showcases in other countries. It is my dream to direct and write a Superman film. I want to take Codebreaker films to the next level and go beyond short films. Our next project is a $4 million feature film, our first, set to film entirely in Manitoba. It is my goal to make Winnipeg the Indigenous Film Centre of Canada, and I believe the production of this feature film will be the beginning of that. Thank you.
Wow, that's great, Sonya. It sounds like you've had some great successes so far. Can you tell me a little bit about your background and why film has become something that you're passionate about?
I've always seen Native people portrayed so negatively in films and on TV. The only time my home community was ever on the news was when we had a crime or something terrible had happened. So I really wanted to create the stories that I wanted to see with people like me in the leads.
That's great. Thank you.
Hi, Sonya. Thank you for the presentation. Very well done. Curious to know about your support team. Assuming you have a support team, can you speak a bit about them?
Yes, I work closely with my two business partners, Luther Alexander, who's our technical director, and Luther Alexander and Sage Daniels, who is our finance director. Sage is originally from Long Plain First Nation and is Ojibwe, and Luther Alexander is Soto, and we have worked together ever since the beginning of Codebreaker.
Great, thank you.
Awesome. Hey, Sonya. Yeah, so if you won 2020 Pow Wow Pitch, how would you use those funds to take Codebreaker to the next level?
I would probably, one of the big ones would be to get the website up and running. We have a very simple website right now, and I really want to take it to like a little bit better place, give it a better home. I've also wanted to get us an office finally, so we're not working directly out of either one of our basements. So that is my big goal, is to get an office location, just so we seem a little bit as legit as we are.
Love it.
Next, we have Reid Coutour, partner, Timber and Fins.
Hello, my name is Reid, and thank you for taking the time to hear about our company, Timber and Fins. So to tell you about Timber and Fins, we are a fishing company that was born out of the love for fishing and passion for design. We're run by two individuals, myself, and I come from a finance background, and David, my partner, who comes from a creative background. The first product we decided to make for Timber and Fins once we came together was actually our cedar fly box. So it holds flies, which people use as bait for fishing when they're fly fishing, and it keeps them dry. Since then, we've expanded quite vastly. We offer a range of fly fishing accessories. This is our fly wallet. It's made from leather, veg tan, and sheepskin. This is our reel case. So similar, made from leather, sheepskin, and stitched by hand. As of recently, we decided to make Timber and Fins more of a brand than just a fly fishing accessory company itself. So we expanded to clothing. So I'm actually wearing some of it right now. This is our Timber and Fins rainbow trout crew neck. I'm wearing one of our Timber and Fins leather patch hats, which are stitched by hand. We have a variety of different clothing as well. So our focus at Timber and Fins is pretty straightforward. We want to make a high quality fly fishing gear and outdoors gear now that we have the clothing, and make sure it stays eco-friendly and give back to actually the country which we're both from, which is Canada. So we donate a portion of our profits, and we have since the beginning, to the Canadian Wildlife Federation. And we look to continue to do that as we grow. So thank you for hearing my pitch. Open to questions now.
Thank you, Reid. Can you tell me a little bit about your go-to marketing strategy in our virtual world?
For sure. So I have a wide array of social media pages, which I use to market the company, but we also use Facebook ads and Google ads to target an even wider range in Canada and the USA right now.
Great, thank you.
Reid, I have a question about the uniqueness, if that's a word, of your product. Is that something, your fishing gear in particular, is that something, are you competing with other companies, or is that something that's unique?
Yeah, so most of the fly fishing accessories right now are, I would say, lower quality, offered in bigger chain stores that you've probably heard of, such as Cabela's, Bass Pro Shops, made of metal, sometimes plastic. These are made from Spanish cedar, for example, veg tanned leather, which doesn't use any chemicals. Same with our sheepskin, sheepskin as well. So we don't use any chemicals in the process, and it's all done by hand. So people really like showing that off at the rivers we found, and that's kind of how we stand out.
Amazing, thank you.
Awesome, great product detail there. If you were to fast forward 5 years, where would you project? Where would you envision your company being in 5 years from now?
For sure. So if we were to look forward in 5 years, what I would like to see from Timber and Fins is it's a common name in outdoor apparel. You think of companies such as Patagonia, and they've done so well with their whole outdoor rock climbing kind of design. That's kind of the path that we'd like to go down, all while still having a separate, all while still focusing on the fly fishing accessories themselves. So we just want to be a household name in apparel while offering still good quality products for people that like to fish.
Up next, we have Wayne Mackenzie, artist, designer, manager, Minot Designs.
Quick. My name is Wayne Mackenzie. I'm from Temiskaming First Nation. My pitch is to bring our beautiful culture through the trendies. I've been painting since 1999, and one of the first trends that I got on was printing my designs on mouse pads, and also right after that I printed the Pow Wow board game, and now the latest trend that I'm getting on is printed with my design mouse mask. But one of the I have two ways of getting these masks printed right now. One of them is online store that I go through called Teespring. It's print on demand. The way it works is I advertise and I bring people to the store. They buy it. The shop online prints just like one copy, ships it directly to the customer. I don't see any of it at that time, and also I get them printed locally at a local printer because people always like to buy like artwork or my designs right off of the artist. And so yeah, that's my pitch real quick. And yeah, that's pretty much it. That's what I've been doing with my design.
Hi, if you were to win the prize and sort of envision yourself maybe 5 years down the road, where would you like to see your products being sold?
Just like all over the world. I just with my board game, and I traveled to Europe twice to sell my art and to distribute. I was in Frankfurt, Germany, Paris, France, London, England, selling artwork. So I do a lot of the legwork myself because I like doing my presentation myself to the buyers. I even had an interested customer in Russia. I went to a game show in Chicago one time, and yeah, there was interest. People around the world love our culture, right? Yeah.
Thank you.
Next, we have Mya Beaudry, founder, Cookum Scrunchies.
Hi, my name is Mya Beaudry. I'm 9.5 years old and I'm from Kitigan, ZB. My business is called Cookum Scrunchies. because um, because in my language, Kukum means grandmother in my language, and grandmother would Kukum would wear these on their heads. It started off as a fundraiser, and I turned it into a business in March 2020 using Shopify. You want to know something amazing? Is my business is in the top 6% in Shopify. Part of my business is giving back, and each scrunchie is named after a role model or someone inspiring. I make 10 different colors. Each they're $10 each, and every Sunday I do a release, limited edition. Cookumscrunchies.com.ca. I have over 10,000 followers on Instagram. I want to grow it. If I won $10,000, I would buy a cooking material for a year, a sewing machine, and a hi.
It sounds like you're doing some really inspirational work for a 9.5-year-old. So tell me a little bit about your support team in making those scrunchies. So if you buy a sewing machine and the material, is that something that your direct family helps with? And do you plan on building a bigger support team of other 9-year-olds?
Yes. I want to build with a lot of people, young and old.
Hi, Mya. I have a question for you. I heard you say that each one of the scrunchies is named after someone that's inspiring. Can you give me an example?
So this one's called Cookum Dana. She's my aunt, and I'm really inspired by her. And this is my grandma. Her name's Cookum Laura. And we have a lot more. This one, we have a lot of colors.
Thanks. Thanks. That answers. Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's like we have a lot of different colors, 10 different colors. Oh, and this one is the first love. This is the first one of the cookum material that we made. Yeah.
Wow, what an incredible episode of the Pow Wow Pitch Semi-Finals. With such incredible ingenuity, I don't know how you'll choose. Judges, can you share your final thoughts on tonight's pitches?
RBC is very proud to sponsor the 2020 Pow Wow Pitch. It has been a pleasure to hear a broad range of business ideas from Indigenous entrepreneurs from across the country. I witnessed true pride and passion from all of the contestants today. I wish you all the best of luck in your business endeavors in the future. Cooks-Chet-Chem. Thank you, everyone.
Kwekagina. So on behalf of Shopify and myself, Kyle, from Kitagan First Nation, I'm super proud to be able to be part of the Pow Wow Pitch 2020. Just being able to see the diversity of entrepreneurs, being able to see from coast to coast their collective strength, their passion, their motivation to see economic autonomy for larger community, distinct communities, on a multitude of social issues, personal betterment. It was an incredible event to be part of, and to see the beautiful diversity that we have in Indigenous entrepreneurship across Canada.
Thank you, judges. Thank you to our presenting sponsor, RBC, our partners at Canada Post, Shopify, BDC, and NACCA, and thank you to our mentors, volunteers, and judges for all of your support in bringing 2020 Pow Wow Pitch online and across Canada this evening. A huge congratulations to tonight's entrepreneurs for their passionate and compelling pitches. Thank you to all of our viewers tonight for cheering on Indigenous entrepreneurs through the Pow Wow Pitch. Let's keep this conversation going using hashtag Pow Wow Pitch. Tell us who delivered your favorite pitch tonight. Join us tomorrow evening and each evening this week at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on Pow Wow Pitch Facebook Live, to hear from all of our semi-finalists and to share who you think should be selected for the Pow Wow Pitch Finals. Until tomorrow, I am your host, Sunshine Tenasco, signing off. Miigwech Kipijay Egg Non Gomanok Shake.